You ever notice how people walk around thinking their clothes don't matter? Like the world isn't watching. Like energy doesn't speak louder than fabric? It's funny, really. Everyone pretends they're invisible, pretending no one can see the story they're wearing on their own skin. But the truth is, your outfit is the first sentence you speak before your mouth even opens. And lately, you've been writing the wrong sentence. Not because you're weak, not because you're lost, but because you've outgrown the version of yourself those clothes belong to. Your outfit is silently shaping how the world reacts to you, and you don't even realize how loudly it's been speaking. Isn't it funny how you can walk into a room without saying a single word, yet everyone already thinks they know who you are? They glance at the shoes, the shirt, the wrinkles, the colors, the chaos or the carelessness, and instantly they decide. Not because they're smart, not because they're right, but because that's how this little game works. People listen more to your clothes than your voice. They trust fabric more than truth. They believe appearances more than intentions. And while you sit there wondering why they underestimate you, life is whispering, change the message you're sending. You think your clothes don't matter, that they're just cloth thrown over a body trying to survive another day. But they are the mask you wear before you even speak. The world reads you like a headline, and your outfit is the bold print at the top. Too dull? They assume you have no ambition. Too sloppy? They assume you lack discipline. Too careless? They assume you're lost. And the real joke is, they make all these assumptions before they even look you in the eyes, before they hear the pain you've survived, before they witness the fire you're carrying, all because the costume wasn't convincing enough for the role you're meant to play. You've been wondering why respect feels like a luxury, why opportunities seem allergic to your presence, why some people talk to you like you're less than what you are. But what if I told you your wardrobe has been negotiating on your behalf, and it's been selling you short every single time? Imagine walking around with a sign that says, "I don't care. I don't value myself. I don't believe I deserve better." You didn't write those words, but your appearance did, and everyone else has been reading it like scripture. There's a strange kind of power in dressing with intention. A power most people never taste because they think it's superficial. They think it doesn't matter. But the truth is, it matters because people matter, and people decide. They decide whether to trust you, follow you, open doors for you, respect you. They decide how to treat you based on the language your clothes are speaking. You didn't choose the rules of this world, but you do get to choose whether you want to play smart or play stubborn. Think about how you feel on the days you actually try. Those rare mornings when you put effort into yourself, when you fix your collar, adjust your sleeves, wear something that makes you stand just a little taller. Notice how your steps sound different, how your shoulders sit differently, how your chest feels less like a burden and more like a declaration. Notice how people look at you longer, listen to you closer, respond to you with a different tone. That's not an accident. That's the shift. That's the moment you stop blending into the background and start announcing your presence without uttering a syllable. Your clothes don't just tell the world who you are. They tell times who you are. They affect the way your mind behaves. Wear something lazy, your thoughts become lazy. Wear something sharp, your actions sharpen. It's a strange little psychological trick, but it's real. You can dress like the version of you who's already successful, already confident, already disciplined, and your brain will slowly start trying to match the character. You turn the outfit into an identity, and the identity becomes a lifestyle. You can change your life faster than you think, simply by changing what you wrap yourself in every morning. Not because of vanity, but because every great transformation begins with a shift in how you see yourself. And the quickest way to alter that perspective is to present yourself differently to the mirror. The mirror is a dangerous place. It can be your enemy, mocking you for staying the same. Or it can be your ally, smiling back at you as you evolve. And that evolution begins with something as deceptively small as upgrading the armor you wear into the world. So you've been walking through life thinking no one notices you, thinking you're just another face in the crowd, another shadow blending into the background. But here's the twist you didn't see coming. They times notice you. They're watching more than you think. They're reading you before you even open your mouth. The way you dress has been sending signals, little sparks, little whispers, little warnings, and everyone around you has been decoding them while you pretend it's all meaningless. People judge what they see long before they care about who you are. And the funniest part is, you've been acting like you're invisible, while your clothes have been screaming louder than you ever could. Look at yourself the way a stranger does for the first time. That first glance is brutal, isn't it? It's fast, shallow, unfiltered. They look at your shirt, your shoes, your fit, and instantly their mind delivers a verdict. Is this someone to take seriously? Someone stable? Someone lost? Someone careless? Is this someone who knows where they're going? Or someone who's still wandering around hoping the road will decide for them? One glance, and the world thinks it knows you. And you, yes, you have been letting that judgment shape the opportunities you get, the rooms you're welcomed into, the way people speak to you. All because you thought appearance didn't matter. But the truth is, you don't just dress for the world. You dress for times you asterisk, for your own mind, for your own energy. Ever walked out the door wearing something that made you feel powerful, precise, put together? Remember how your back straightened on its own, how your eyes sharpened, how your steps became heavier with purpose? That wasn't the fabric. That was you stepping into a version of yourself that you usually ignore. You met the you that tries harder, the you that respects yourself, the you that carries a certain electricity. And yet, most days, you walk away from that version like it's too much trouble to meet them again. You want life to treat you differently, but you haven't changed the way you present yourself to life. You've been showing up half awake, half convinced, half prepared, and expecting full respect. It doesn't work that way. The world mirrors back whatever you send out. Look lazy, get treated lazy. Look lost, get overlooked. But walk in like someone who cares about the little things, how you fit your clothes, how you carry your frame, how you show up, and suddenly everything shifts. People don't know why they feel it, but they do. There's a quiet authority in someone who dresses like they respect themselves. And here's the beautiful, twisted irony. You don't even need expensive clothes. You just need intention, effort, a little discipline, a little pride, clean shoes, neat fits, colors that don't fight each other, clothes that match the message you want to send. That's it. The smallest upgrade can make the biggest noise. You could walk into the same room you've entered 100 times, but because you changed one detail the way you appear, suddenly the whole room responds differently. People lift their heads a second longer. They think twice before dismissing you. They observe. They adjust. They respect. What most people don't understand is that dressing well isn't about looking fancy. It's about declaring something quietly but firmly. I value myself. I'm not drifting. I'm not hiding. I'm not apologizing for being here. I am stepping into my own presence with intention. And once you start embodying that energy, the world reacts like you've rewritten your character arc right in front of their eyes. You've spent too long letting your clothes betray your potential. Too long letting your appearance tell a story you don't want to live. You've been giving people the wrong script, and they've been acting according to it. But you can flip the narrative anytime you choose. The moment you decide to upgrade the way you dress, you upgrade the way you live. Because when you start looking like someone who's ready for opportunity, opportunity starts treating you like someone who might actually catch it. You've been walking around dressed like the past still owns you, like the person you used to be has stitched their fingerprints into your clothes. It's almost poetic how your wardrobe still tells the story of where you've been, instead of where you're going. And maybe you haven't noticed it yet, but your style, your choices, your whole presentation, it's been dragging an old version of you into every new chapter you're trying to write. That's the strange thing about identity. It clings, it repeats, it pretends it's harmless, but every time you slip into the same old look, you're slipping right back into the same old mindset without even realizing it. You're dressing like the battles you've already fought, instead of the future you're supposed to claim. Take a moment and look at the clothes hanging in your closet. Really look. You'll see memories attached to them, comfort, routine, old habits, old moods. Clothes you bought when you were struggling. Clothes you wore during moments you'd rather forget. Clothes that fit the person who didn't know any better, who accepted less, who tolerated things you'd never tolerate now. But you've changed since then, haven't you? You've grown, learned, survived, shifted, broken, rebuilt. Yet, your reflection hasn't caught up. You're still presenting yourself as someone you outgrew long ago. When you dress like your past, you carry its energy with you. And energy is louder than fabric. People feel it before you even speak. They feel the hesitation, the uncertainty, the outdated self-image wrapped around you like invisible tape. You might be aiming for big opportunities, bigger rooms, higher circles, but your appearance still whispers, "I'm not ready." It's subtle, but powerful, and the world reacts to that whisper. They treat you according to the version of you they think they're seeing, not the one you're secretly trying to become. That's why you feel disconnected sometimes. Like you're trying to level up, but something keeps pulling you back. It's because your identity and your presentation don't match. You're building a new inner world while still wearing the costume of your old one. And before you try to convince the world you've changed, you have to look like someone who believes it first. A new chapter demands a new image, not for others, but as a signal to yourself that the old story is finished. When you finally upgrade your style, something strange happens inside you. It's almost like flipping a switch. You start standing differently. You start breathing differently. You start taking yourself more seriously. Your posture tightens. Your voice deepens. Your movements become intentional. You feel like you're stepping into a role that was always meant for you, but you never gave yourself permission to play. And the more you dress like this new version, the more natural it becomes. The identity you're trying to build stops feeling like a dream and starts feeling like a home. People don't realize how deeply clothes affect psychology. Wear something sloppy, and suddenly your mind slips into sloppy habits. Wear something dull, and your energy dulls with it. Wear something powerful, and you carry yourself like someone who means something. You're not faking confidence. You're uncovering it. You're not pretending to be better. You're reminding yourself that you already are. The right outfit doesn't create a new you. It reveals the version you've buried under years of settling and routine. Think about every person who has transformed their life. They all reach a moment where they look at themselves in the mirror and say, "This can't be me anymore." And that moment is where everything shifts. Because identity isn't just about thoughts or dreams, it's about presentation, action, and the way you choose to show up. When you dress differently, you think differently. And when you think differently, your life rearranges itself around that new frequency. You've been trying to move forward while wearing clothes that represent the weight behind you. It's time to stop dragging your old identity into your new destiny. Change the way you dress, and you'll feel the past loosening its grip. You'll notice doors opening that once stayed shut. You'll feel people respond to you with a different tone, a different level of respect. And most importantly, you'll feel your own mind shifting into the version of you that's been waiting to breathe. You want your appearance to match the future you're building, but you're still dressing like the life you're trying to escape. That's the contradiction you carry every day, whether you admit it or not. You keep talking about growth, about leveling up, about becoming someone sharper, stronger, wiser. Yet the mirror keeps showing the same old presentation wrapped around you like a stubborn reminder. And somewhere deep inside, you know it doesn't fit anymore. It's like wearing a costume for a character you no longer want to play. But you keep putting it on, out of habit, out of comfort, out of fear that stepping into a new image might expose the parts of you you've tried to hide. There's a strange tension inside people when they start evolving. The mind wants change, the heart wants progress, but the body stays stuck in the same routine. And the easiest place to see that disconnect is on the surface, the clothes, the style, the little details that quietly reveal whether you're moving forward or standing still. You say you've grown, but do you look like someone who has grown? You say you're ready for bigger blessings, but do you show up like someone prepared to handle them? Because the world won't reward potential if it's wrapped in confusion. People respond to signals, and your style is one of the loudest signals you have. Think about the people you respect. Their presence arrives before they speak, before their words, their reputation, their ideas. There's the way they show up. Clean, intentional, sharp. It's not about luxury. It's about coherence, alignment, a clear message about who they are and what they expect from themselves. And you feel it instantly. That detail alone can shift a room, open a door, shape a conversation. And the funny part is, you could have the same effect if you stop treating your appearance like an afterthought. You're building a future, but your clothes still carry the dust of your past. You want respect, but you dress like someone who's not sure they deserve it. You want new opportunities, but you show up looking like you're still negotiating with who you used to be. And deep down, you know appearance affects everything: your confidence, your decisions, your posture, your tone. When you dress with intention, your whole energy tightens. You stop wandering and start directing. You stop shrinking and start occupying space differently. There's a certain power that comes from dressing like the person you want to become. It's not superficial, it's strategic. Your brain is always taking notes from the signals you send yourself. If you dress carelessly, your mind drifts into careless patterns. If you dress purposefully, you step into purposeful behavior. The fabric becomes a trigger. The colors become reminders. The fit becomes a declaration that you're not living on autopilot anymore. And people feel that shift around you. They notice even the smallest change before you do. But here's what most never understand. Your new style isn't about impressing others. It's about aligning your outer world with your inner evolution. You can't keep growing inside while holding on to a version of yourself on the outside that no longer represents the direction you're moving in. Your future can't take you seriously until you do. And changing the way you dress is one of the simplest, quickest, most immediate ways to break away from the identity that's been weighing you down. You've been wearing comfort like armor, but comfort has been keeping you small. You've been repeating the same choices, expecting different results, and maybe that's why things feel stuck, why opportunities slip, why you feel unseen. Because you've been showing up as a muted version of yourself, and muted things rarely get chosen. Once you upgrade your style even slightly, you send a signal to life itself that you're ready for more. You start attracting different conversations, different environments, different levels of respect. You start noticing how differently people look at you, how differently you look at yourself. Your reflection begins to match your vision instead of your memories. And that shift becomes addictive. You start realizing that every day you step out the door, you're either reinforcing your old identity or stepping boldly into the new one. You've outgrown the image you've been carrying around. Your next level won't tolerate your old look. It's time to dress like someone who isn't scared of being seen, someone who isn't scared of rising, someone who knows what they're becoming even if no one else sees it yet. You ever notice how a tiny shift in the way someone dresses can flip their whole personality inside out? It's almost unsettling, the way a simple change on the outside can rearrange everything on the inside. And that's the part no one wants to talk about, the connection between your clothes and your confidence. People pretend it's shallow, pretend it doesn't matter, pretend they're above all that. But deep down, everyone knows the truth. What you wear doesn't just sit on your skin. It crawls into your mindset, rewires your posture, whispers things to your spirit. And the moment you upgrade your style, your energy upgrades with it, whether you meant to or not. Picture yourself waking up, dragging through the motions, picking whatever old outfit is closest. You don't think much of it, but your mind already took the hint. It says, today we're not trying. Today we're blending in. Today's just another day. Your shoulders slump a little. Your voice softens a little. Your presence fades before you even step outside, all because the outfit you chose told your brain to shrink. And the scariest part is, you didn't even realize the switch flipped. Now imagine the opposite. You put on something clean, fitted, something that makes you stand a bit straighter. And suddenly, without anyone saying a word, you feel different, sharper, more awake, more aware of yourself. You watch how you move because you want the outfit to sit right. You speak a little clearer because you feel worth hearing. You walk with this quiet certainty, like you don't need permission just to exist. That's not the clothes talking. That's the confidence you buried long ago, finally given a reason to wake up again. Confidence isn't born out of thin air. It grows from little cues, little signals, little rituals you repeat until they shape you. And one of the strongest rituals you have is the way you dress. When you choose clothes that elevate you, you're telling your mind, we're leveling up today. And your mind listens, your mood listens, your body listens. Even strangers listen, because confidence, real confidence, leaks out of your presence long before you ever open your mouth. But you've been walking around dressed in a way that keeps your confidence asleep. Clothes that hide you, clothes that make you shrink, clothes that match the version of you that didn't believe in much. You wonder why you feel overlooked, unappreciated, invisible. But you show up wearing the energy of someone who doesn't expect to be seen. You can't demand greatness while dressing like someone who's comfortable with crumbs. Every time you put on an outfit, you're casting a vote for the type of day you're going to have. And lately, you've been voting against yourself. You want to feel powerful. Dress like someone who's done playing small. You want respect? Dress like someone with standards. You want opportunity? Dress like someone who's ready to catch it. Clothes don't magically create success, but they create the mindset that draws success closer. People respond differently when you look intentional. Even you respond differently to yourself. And confidence built from the outside often unlocks confidence that's been trapped on the inside for years. Think about the last time you wore something that made you feel genuinely good. Not expensive, not flashy, just times right asterisk. Remember how everything felt easier? how conversations flowed smoother, how you walked into the world with a rhythm in your step, like you belonged in rooms you once felt intimidated by. That wasn't an accident. That was alignment. That was your inner strength matching your outer presentation. That was proof that the way you dress isn't just style, it's strategy. And the beauty of it all is that you don't need a whole new wardrobe to change your confidence. You just need intention. A few pieces that fit well, a little color discipline, clean shoes, clothes that make you feel awake instead of washed out. It's less about money and more about message. What message are you sending when you walk out the door? What energy are you wrapping around yourself? Because people can feel your insecurity just as easily as they can feel your confidence. You've been letting your clothes mute you. It's time to let them amplify you. Confidence doesn't come from wishing. It comes from choosing. And every morning, you choose how loudly you want your presence to speak. You ever notice how life has this funny way of responding to the energy you give it? Not the words you say, not the dreams you scribble down, but the energy you carry into every room. And that energy, it's heavily shaped by the way you show up, the way you walk, the way you hold yourself, and yes, the way you dress. People think style is just decoration, just fabric, just something you throw on because society expects it. But no, style is a language, and your clothes are speaking long before you do. And when you change the way you dress, the world changes the way it reacts to you. You've seen it happen before. Walk into a room looking unprepared, sloppy, dull, and people instinctively treat you with a kind of gentle indifference. They don't mean to. It's unconscious, automatic. They look at you and think, this one's not a threat. This one's not serious. This one's not ready. Opportunities shrink away from you. Conversations stay shallow. Doors quietly close before you even reach them. Not because you're unworthy, but because your presentation didn't match the message you want your life to send. Now flip the scene. Imagine walking into that same room with intention stitched into every part of your appearance. Clothes clean, fitting, purposeful, colors matching your energy, hair neat, shoes speaking a quiet confidence. Suddenly, without uttering a single word, you've altered the atmosphere. People look at you differently. They straighten up a little when you walk past. They choose their words more carefully. They evaluate you with curiosity instead of dismissal. They sense something sharp about you, something deliberate. You haven't changed who you are, just how you show it. But look how quickly the world adjusts. Life is full of these small, invisible exchanges, and most people never understand them. They keep thinking life is unfair, that nobody notices their hard work, that their talent gets overlooked. But talent hides under sloppy presentation. Potential gets ignored when wrapped in carelessness. Your outer world reflects your inner world. And if the outside looks confused, the world assumes the inside must be too. You might be brilliant. You might be destined. You might be gifted beyond measure. But if your appearance doesn't hint at the fire inside you, the world will hand you a smaller stage than you deserve. When you change the way you dress, you send a silent message that you're done playing at the old level. You tell the universe, I take myself seriously now. And the universe responds by taking you seriously too. People sense when someone has elevated. They notice the precision, the edge, the care you put into yourself. It's not vanity. It's respect, self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic. It changes the tone of how people speak to you, the trust they place in you, the opportunities they believe you can handle. You see, life isn't just about doing the work. It's about looking like someone who does the work, showing up like someone who belongs in bigger rooms. dressing like someone whose mind is sharp, whose intentions are clear, whose destiny is no longer negotiable. You're crafting a presence, a shape, a silhouette that tells the world, I am stepping into something greater. And the world, always listening, always watching, adjusts its response accordingly. Because when you upgrade your appearance, you upgrade your energy. And when your energy shifts, everything else shifts with it. People treat you better. Opportunities open wider. Challenges shrink. Respect multiplies. You begin to feel the difference in your own body. Your walk becomes steadier. Your voice stronger. Your decisions more precise. You start choosing differently, speaking differently, thinking differently. Because your presentation isn't just something you put on, it's something you become. You've been living at a certain frequency, and your clothes have been anchoring you there. But once you elevate your style, you lift that frequency. You move into new territory. You step out of the shadows you once hid in. You show the world a version of yourself that refuses to apologize for existing. And the world will always, always respond to that version of you with more respect, more opportunities, more seriousness,